Howdy, hi, welcome. Come on in. I hope you guys are excited, cause I am. Allison had this idea of making a tier list of characters, and it just being who would wait for a magical girl to finish her transformation. So I think that sounds swell. Dill Pickle, you're watching without audio. let me. I'm typing to them in chat. So you cannot hear me. But yeah, exciting stuff. Totally normal list. We've only got the I can hear you loud and clear. Well, the Twitch lied to me. A liar. A whore. Either that or you're in my house. And I don't know which option I like better. But yeah, let's discuss who we think would politely wait for a magical girl to finish her transformation before, like, attacking or anything. We've only got the two tier options because I feel like we didn't need any more. If we need more, we can add them. But for now, I think we got all of our bases covered. And let's start, and we'll just go in order here. Which, it's not in any order particularly. Why is Santa here? Because we gotta know. Same reason why, we'll get to him. We're gonna go in order. We're gonna start with, of course, my beloved Kaiji. And I think Kaiji would 1000% wait for a magical girl to finish her transformation. Because Kaiji is the least proactive character to be a protagonist, I think. He waits forever to do anything. He has to think every single thing over. He never does anything spontaneously. If a magical girl starts a transformation, Kaiji would not only stop to go, ugh, and react, he would have a monologue thinking about it, watch the whole transformation, have a second monologue, and that monologue leads into an animated analogy. Magical girl transformations are like skippable ads. Wow. It hurts, but I think I must agree. So, starting off strong with Kaiji. Kaiji would wait for her to finish her magical girl transformation. But I think in a fun comparison, a guard from Skyrim wouldn't. They always interrupt. They always show up when you least expect them because you accidentally stole an apple like 14 hours ago. And they're like, halt, we're gonna arrest you. And it's like, excuse me? They'll just interject. You'll be walking around the world of Skyrim and one of the guards, they'll just tell you. You didn't bother to ask. They'll just insert themselves into your life to be like, let me guess, someone stole your sweet roll. And it's like, no one asked you. So I do not think they'd wait for magic. They don't understand the decorum. They're nematodes. You see. Team Rocket should be on the list. There's a lot of things that could be on the list, but I've got 30 things. Theoretically, we could add to this. Monica would be the most interesting magical girl transformation due to her not being real. I don't know who Monica. Yeah, no, they're not transforming. In this scenario that we've proposed, it's like Sailor Moon is there and like hanging out with Kaiji or with Monica or whoever. And she goes, you know, Moon Prism power, make up! And she starts her transformation. And the question we're asking is, would the character wait for Sailor Moon to finish her transformation? Or would they, like, interject somehow? Would they attack? Because that's always the joke, isn't it? It's always like, why do they wait for them to do the whole transformation? And, it's because they're good guys. Oh, now this is a good tier. You can tell it's a good one when there's only 2 tiers. Bochi-chan from Bochi the Rock, which, by the way, you should watch Bochi the Rock. It's gotta be one of the funniest anime I've ever watched in my life. Is that Godric? Yeah, we'll get to him. We might jump around, but alternate stream idea, how extravagant would a character's transformation be? A swell option, we could use this same lineup of characters. I just have more tier options. Bochi would 1000% wait. Not only because she's just nice and polite, like she'd be like, oh, I wouldn't want to interrupt, but also she would be too nervous to interject anyway. She'd get into her own head and have a meltdown, and the magical girl would have finished her transformation and would have to be like, Bochi? Bochi, can you hear me? This assortment of characters is so nonsensical. I love it. I appreciate it. I tried my best. I thought it'd be more fun to have variety. Monica is a hard one. I'm gonna need you guys' help with Monica. Because Monica certainly doesn't have an issue with overstepping boundaries, is how I'll describe it. But I also know that Monica's like, you know, she's not nefarious. I think it depends on if the magical girl also was pursuing protagonist Kun, you know? Just super concerned about Bochi's well-being. She definitely would wait, but would be impatient though. Monica deletes your transforming assets so she could get more screen time. Would reverse it to scare you. That would be scary. Ew! Imagine a bad guy that can de-transform a magical girl. I might have to steal that for Grim Magic at some point. I think I'm gonna put Monica in yes. She would wait for the magical girl to finish their transformation. But I will add the asterisk that I think if this were the 3rd time around, like if you were replaying the story, I think she would start to skip it. You know, kind of like if you redo the date with Yuri, how you fast forward through it. I think her first time around, she'd be nice. Subsequent, like, instances of the transformation, Monica would lose her patience. Maybe we should add that caveat. We've got so many tiers. Let's make yes, but only once. Oh my lord, what the fuck? What the edit please. Don't embarrass me. Why don't you like highlights? Yes, but only once. And we'll make this one, yeah, you know, we'll make it blue. That's a great color. Okay. They steal your magical girl powers outfit and all completely unchanged. It's like the mama, like the first monster in Grim Magic, and just wearing a crappy tiny dress. You've arrived with the paper towels. I don't know. Congrats. I'm glad you got the paper towels. Don't worry, you haven't missed too much. Just me, as always, fumbling with Tier Maker. The least cohesive website. Banjo and Kazooie up next. I think they'd totally wait for a magical girl to finish her transformation. Because you can't move in the cutscene. They don't even cut in to, like, stop Grunty from doing villainy. You know? At best, they'd make a quip, but they wouldn't do anything to stop her. Kazooie would absolutely not. Kazooie, the only reason why you're correct, but Banjo is in control. Banjo would be like, Kazooie, no. She'd be like, oh, fine. Banjo would insist on waiting, and Kazooie would be hurling foul-mouthed abuse. It's true. That is their favorite dynamic. She loves throwing shade. We'll just keep them at the bottom of yes. Cloud Strife? I don't know too much about Cloud. I know things about Cloud through the grapevine, but I'm not like #1 Final Fantasy VII fan, so you guys will have to help me with Cloud as well. See, my thought is Banjo would be impressed. Like, the transformation would end, and Kazooie would be like, ah, finally! And Banjo would go, but look at how nice that animation was. It was darn pretty, you have to admit. Cloud's too stupid to move. See, I was gonna say, obviously Cloud waits, because it's not his turn. Because it's a turn-based RPG. Cloud is literally built for watching cutscenes. I'm not wrong. Think about half of the things Sephiroth canonically goes through transformations. All the bad guys do. They all have their multiple forms, and Cloud just lets them do that. Because it's not his turn. That's something that could be really fascinating to play with in a turn-based RPG. Like, being like, yeah, I can't do something because it's not my turn, like, but it's a cutscene. Well, I've really tickled myself with Cloud. Yeah, one of the cats is here. We'll get to him. But next up, we gotta do Captain Falcon. I love Captain Falcon. Wait, why? We'll get to them. We're asking the important questions, aren't we? Captain Falcon would not. He wouldn't in no way wait for a magical girl transformation. He's gotta go fast. Sonic should be on here. He wouldn't wait either. But yeah, Captain Falcon does not have the patience for that. I love Falcon. Listen, I love the captain. He's smash. But also, he's kind of a douchebag. Like, he killed Olimar's Pikmin, you know? In that one cutscene in subspace. No way that man is waiting for a girl to transform. He would Falcon punch, so it hits right as the iframes expire. Yeah. I guess we could also look into it like, kind of like Cloud. There are characters who have transformations in Smash, and you can cancel them by Falcon punching and kicking and Falcon fucking the whole life up. So listen, I love him, love the captain. Not a magical girl ally. Sonic canonically wouldn't wait for Taboo to power up in subspace, breaking his wings as soon as he made them. I don't think I ever got that far. I played through most of subspace with Allison, cause I think it was with Allison, either with Allison or with our cousins, cause Critter and I didn't have a Wii growing up. Everyone else did, and so we had to play Wii games, you know, with others, basically. But I don't think we ever got to Sonic. It's bananas that they saved him until the very end, by the way. Not only because he's a popular character, but also because, like, he's ripe for interesting interactions with others. This is crazy. He'd say, show me your moves, then wait until they attack. Falcon's punch is canonically as strong as a universe exploding? Damn. I feel like he lied about that. I feel like Captain Falcon said those words, but they're not true. When's the Subspace Emissary co-op stream? I don't know if Allison still has her Wii. So I don't know. I'll add it to the long list. Let's jump to... Let's go with Godric. Let's do Godric the Grafted. This is the first boss. This is the first boss in Elden Ring. I'm imagining him fighting a magical girl. That's why it's so funny to me. And you know what? I feel like Godric would wait for a magical girl to transform, but I don't know. I'm not great with the lore. But he strikes me as the kind of person who's like into, you know, chivalry and shit. You know, it's all a presentation, obviously. Like, look at him. But I feel like he'd be like, "Ha, you think you're stronger than me even if you do that? Ha ha ha." And then he still tries to fight afterwards. He totally would want to optimize his grafting. Yeah, that too. Like, oh, you gotta get stronger? Now I can rip off an even better arm. Use that. So, yeah, I think, but it's for evil. But the answer is still yes. I say. Let's jump to someone else who's also a little bit easier. Navi wouldn't. I don't think she would, because Navi's always interrupting. She can't read the room. It's always, "Hey, listen." and I think she would, "Hey, listen," and try to Z-target the magical girl. She would get blown away. It would be an unsuccessful interruption. But I think she would try. She's also spunky. He sees distorted magical girl transformation. She'd complain at Link until he attacked. Yeah. Link, come on! We gotta get her now before she... Like, that would be her thing. She would say, Link, like, if you target and then, like, get info on her. And be like, you know... Magical girl, Link, make sure you attack before she finishes her transformation. Otherwise, she'll be way stronger. I don't know anything about Navi, but she seems like the type to tell Link to target the boss's weak spot. Perfect. You've got it on lockdown, honestly. I guess we'll stick with our little Zelda corner and also go with Princess Zelda. Specifically, this is the Twilight Princess Zelda. I feel like it mattered to specify which Zelda I was gonna pull, because they're all different characters. I think the answer is yes. I think she would, because she's chivalrous. She wouldn't be happy about it, but she would. Because she's a sweetie. If she was taken over by Ganon, the answer would be no. But under her own accord, I think she'd wait, begrudgingly. You thought Twilight Princess Zelda, but didn't bring the gremlin. I know. There was a part of me, I was like, oh, should I get Midna? And then I was like, I don't want like half the characters to be Zelda characters. For what it's worth, Midna would absolutely wait. It'd be too bright. I don't think she would be able to interject. She'd be like, ah, shit, this is like the sun, I need to hide, you know? And then she wouldn't be able to get closer. Because she's just a stanky little gremlin. Let's, also, Goomba's an easy one. No. Goomba wouldn't wait. He just walks forward. There's no thoughts behind those eyes. Look at that. That head is empty. He's just marching forward. He runs towards Mario constantly, and he's never been able to beat Mario. So yeah, he just dooka straight into the magical girl, not out of malice, out of ignorance. Chad Goomba. Alright, I guess we'll finish up our little Mario corner. Mario is another hard one. Because Mario is a gentleman, you know? He's a nice guy, but also he's a little bit of a stinker. You know, he did basically trap Bowser on the moon at the end of Mario Odyssey. He does step on Luigi's toes if he loses. Mario is the one transforming. He does wait for Bowser to power up all the time. It's just, I think the answer will be yes. He does wait for the magical girl to finish powering up. But then afterwards, yeah, I think you are right. He waits for her to power up, and then he, in turn, powers up himself. What'd you miss? We're talking about who would wait for a magical girl to finish her transformation. We're actually gonna add a tier, for Mario. Yes, so then they can transform themselves. And we're gonna make this one, we'll make a red, because it's Mario's the only one we have for this tier yet. Ah, fuck! I hate myself. Half of the time when I make tier lists, I think, I'm not gonna embarrass myself. I'm not gonna embarrass myself this time. I know how the tiers work. I know how the website works. And then I always embarrass myself. I'm saying they, because other people might go into the tier as well. So I'm just covering the base of it being theoretically multiple. Yes, so they can transform themselves. Also, they is gender neutral. It's not an inaccurate pronoun for Mario. There we go. Awesome. Don't worry, Twiins is part of your charm. Trust me, I know. It's like, what do you come for a Twiins stream for? Rage and embarrassing myself. And I think, you think Godric would be in that tier? You know, he does have a mid-fight, like, he has a second phase, doesn't he? I one-shotted the second phase, so it's tough for me to remember. And that's not me trying to boast. It took me a long time to fight Godric. Howdy, Allison. Welcome. You can, no you can't. I was gonna say you can help me with Denji. I'll be honest, I jumped away from Denji because I feel like there's a lot to unpack with him. But let's wander back over here towards the anime boys. Second phase versus magical girl transformation. They are the same picture, if we're being honest. Twiins wanted to thank you for rating 0 yesterday because now I found a new streamer to watch. Hey, you're welcome. Thank Messiah. He was the one that suggested it. It was fun though. We should do raids more often. I say. Denji definitely wouldn't wait. And you know what? I think you're right. He transformed as well. I think he's already transformed. There's no reason Denji wouldn't already. Like, if he's fighting, and then the girl's like, you know, Moon, Prism Power, make up, or whatever. Denji would already have ripped the cord. I think the answer is no. He wouldn't wait. It would be a bloodbath. It would be awesome. It would be so fucking sick. There should be a magical girl enemy. I don't know what it would be. Like, what kind of demon it would be, but it would be so fucking cool. Denji transforming is a lot less ceremonious, for real. Probably likes kawaii anime girls. Denji is a kawaii anime girl. I think he likes goth girls more. It would be the woman devil? I don't know. That feels like a weird path to follow. Let's go to someone easier. Tanjiro. So, Tanjiro is the most yes. I'm gonna put him at the top of the list even. And the reason why he's most yes is because he is a nice boy. He would not be so rude as to interrupt. And also because Tanjiro similar to Kaiji, just needs to think. he needs to have himself little thinks every time a bad guy does something. I think in Demon Slayer there have been quote unquote transformations, and like from the enemies that he's fought, and he just lets them all happen most of the time. Yeah. So yeah, he's a yes, for sure. I guess we could consider Nezuko's I guess it is a transformation. There's just no no real to-do about it. She just gets big. I have a magical girl, OC, who doesn't have a transformation. She just summons her weapon. Whatever she's wearing at the moment is what she fights in. You know, fun fact, you probably know this. Sakura, Cardcaptor Sakura, she does that as well. She's just always in cute outfits because her friend likes making cute outfits for her. She doesn't have a transformation either. She just has a friend who likes making her do cosplay. I don't think anyone who's ever attempted to stop a transformation except Tengen once. I think you're right. Daki was what stopped me for a second there. That was a long fight, and there was a lot of phases to them. So I think it was either Tengen or Inosuke who tried to stop. It was like Daki's third transformation. So yeah, but I don't think Tanjiro would. I was gonna say Magical Girl Sight to be a shithead. Does anyone like that? Like, unironically? Because I feel like no one does. Spike Spiegel? No way. Spike would not, zero weight. He wouldn't even know that he should wait. Like, he would just shoot, and then Ed or Faye would be like, or any of the other members of the Bebop would be like, what are you doing? Yeah, but what do you mean? It's like, you can't just do that. You have to wait for them. Oh, well, why? I was entertained, but that anime made me uncomfortable, which I think was the point, you know? And there can be value in things that force you to approach uncomfy feelings, but also it stands that things like that, you know, it can be tough for people to be like, I liked that, unfortunately. Roundhouse kick, and then be like, huh? When everyone gets mad. Exactly like when he beat the shit out of that one VHS machine. I don't remember what episode that was. Oh, they were trying to get a machine so that Faye could watch her old VHS. Yeah. MGS was try super hard to be Madoka, but became middle school fan comic. And you know what? I think that's the problem. Madoka did really open everyone's eyes to how dark magical girls can be, and a lot of the time people miss that what made Madoka so great, despite being dark, was that at its core, it was still very much a magical girl show. It's truly, really no darker than Sailor Moon. It just puts that darkness front and center a lot quicker. And so yeah, things like Sight and other things that explore this idea, they just want to make little edge fests, and it's like, no, you have to make a magical girl show, and first, that's gotta be step one. So whatever. Sometimes you need proper escalation, otherwise the stuffing razors and tacks in shoes. Yeah, that's episode 1. That's before she becomes a magical girl. And it's like, alright. I think Explanation Point has a great video kind of breaking down why Sight was just not good. Not sure if you already answered this, but what was the first magical girl anime you watched? I think on a technicality, it was Sailor Moon. I think we all saw some Sailor Moon episodes growing up. So, Sailor Moon on the technicality. From start to finish, it was Madoka Magica. And then after that was when I got more into magical girls. We got another complicated one to approach here. Fos. So I'm gonna start off the Fos section by saying that Fos changes a lot throughout the course of the story. And let's not spoil the second half of Phos and Phos's adventures for anyone who might be holding out for the anime. So basically, we'll only address Phos as far as the anime goes. I'll say that I think Phos, up to that point, would wait for a magical girl transformation. Not because she's chivalrous like some others on the list, but because, or they technically, but because they are kind of dumb. When faced with danger, Phos often just kind of watches. Like, they get overwhelmed and kind of just watch whatever happens. I think starting in, like, volume 11, Phos would not. But 10 and previous, I think Phos would wait for Magical Girl. And since that's most of the story, we'll put Phos up in yes. Okay, yeah. Phase 1 Phos would wait with mouth agape and no thoughts in brain. Yeah, I think I'm gonna say Ant Arc could change that. That's all I'll say about that. But I still think that Phos would still wait, but with less mouth agape. Phos is a great character. You should all read Land of the Lustrous. The manga looks awesome as well. The anime, I'm gonna say, does, like, it only enhances what was already excellent in the manga. It makes action a lot easier to follow. And it's great getting to see all the colors that the gems are. But the manga looks stunning. That mangaka, their use of black and white is a huge inspiration for me. And the story is so damn gripping, you're gonna want to know what happens next every volume. So, read it. You'll enjoy it. You're welcome. My first Magical Girl anime was, what's this? Gritter Force? Or Smile Precure? What in the hell did you spell that right? Gritter Force? I'm Googling it really quick. Because I've never once heard of this. Hang on. You know, everyone talks about Precure, and I've seen none of it. Like, I've perceived the characters. Glitter Force? That probably, but I still haven't heard of it. Glitter Force. And there's a part of me that thinks I should watch all of Precure so I can become an expert in it and then, like, make lists about it. And then there's another part of me that thinks that sounds like a lot. Oh, Glitter Force! You know, there's a part of me, I feel like I've seen these characters, but then I've got to be honest. It's not the most unique looking Magical Girl show. I do like the colors, though. Oh, it's because it's part of Precure, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Okay, I see. Yeah, I should get into Precure, because I feel like I'd like it. My first was, I don't know this word, Daoler Moon. First series I finished was Magical Do-Re-Mi. Well, that sounds Sailor. Okay. Fascinating how that one happened. Magical Do-Re-Mi sounds adorable. That sounds like them just singing, and that's the cutest thing on planet Earth. Ash Ketchum would, obviously he'd wait, because you don't hit B to stop your Pokemon from evolving. Ash has never stopped a Pokemon from evolving. His Pokemon just usually don't evolve. But I think he would totally let an evolution happen. He would be so hype. He'd be like, even if it was an enemy, and he would be like, so excited that it's like, whoa, wait a minute, she's gonna get even stronger? Would Symphogear count if the transformations are based in technology? I think a techno magical girl absolutely could count. The problem is I just don't know shit about Symphogear. Let me Google that real quick too. Symphogear. Images. This is gonna look like a lot of mecha, I think. Oh wow, this looks exciting. Yeah, that looks Superfly. That looks like magical girls to me. While we're on Ash, let's start jumping around and let's get the other anime protags out of the way as well. I feel like that might be a good idea to kind of get our three boys all at once. Literally just all of Alola with the Z moves. Goku, 100%. He wants the magical girl to get stronger. It'd be a better fight. He would downright be like, are you gonna transform? Are you gonna transform? If I fight you, will you transform? Canon? That's true, it is canon! There were magical girls. Everything should have magical girls in it. He was so upset. If I was a villain in a magical girl series, my dumbass self would get distracted by transformations because they're usually bright and sparkly. Dude, same. Honestly, I'd be right there with like Ash. If a girl was like, your Moon Prism Power makeup, I'd be like, oh fuck! I'd be so excited. You feel like in turn he would also transform. You know what? I will put him into the yes so they can transform themselves as well. I think he belongs in that as well. Luffy, I'm less confident about. I'm not that far into One Piece still. I'm at Arlo Park, which is like, they still don't have Chopper. They haven't even gotten to the Grand Line. I know I'm not far. I'm at like a chapter like 80. So I can't say with confidence. I think I think Luffy is either similar to Goku, where he'd be like, oh hell yeah, or Luffy is he's like Spike, where he'd be like, he'd, you know, do a gum pistol punch, and then the others would be like, what are you fucking doing? He doesn't like waiting much at some point. I'm gonna put him in yes, but only once. I think that might be the best place for him. Like, kind of similar to Monica, where it's like, oh, we saw that already. We don't need to do that again. Lolly Rock? That sounds fucking rad. Twiins watching her magical girl opponent do a lengthy transformation. I should draw myself as Pepe. Just because I can. Oh man, let's get this bottom row happening real quick. Our beloved Doug. My plant friend Doug. Obviously, Doug would so he could transform into his human form. Doug would wait because he's a good guy, and he'd be so excited to be like, aw, shit, they're gonna transform? Hell yeah. I'm gonna do that too, and then he'd go into human mode, but it doesn't have like a transformation, he just pops into human mode. Wait a minute, I can draw myself as the memes. The realization every artist hits eventually, honestly though. It's the funniest thing. It makes me cry laughing. Like when I drew myself as Chopper, oh my gosh. He is a polite boy. Our boy Doug. Let's jump back to the order we've got here. So this is, I never remember his name. It's the protagonist for Blue Period. Yatora, I believe. And he super would wait because he lives in a normal world, like the normal world. Not a magical world, not a fantasy world. And so number one, he'd be like, what the fuck? But number two, I think he'd be like, I can draw this. Yeah, he would want to draw it. He'd be wanting to take in information so he could paint it later. So, he super would. All for selfish means. Ask them to do it multiple times. He would. He'd be like, can you model for me? He'd be sketching frantically. A good art boy, that one. You should read Blue Period. If you're at all interested in art, you should read Blue Period. I think you'd like it. I don't know how well it hits if you're not an artist, but it is at least educational. You might think it's like, you know what, I'm learning something, and then just enjoy the characters and story. But I do know that as, you know, if you are familiar with art and things, you definitely kind of, it's easy to connect, you know. Who in the world is that next white-haired anime boy? That is Brother Nier. From Nier, you know, the one that it came before Automata, the one that is one of my favorite games, but if I say one of my favorite games is Nier, people go, oh, you mean Automata or that other one? And I say, well, I didn't fucking say Automata. I said Nier. I prefer Daddy Nier. Listen, Brother Nier is more Smash, I've got to be honest. I think there are pros and cons to both versions of Brother and versus Dad Nier. I like them both plenty, but Brother Nier is the more canon one, and he's more attractive, so it is what it is. Shady evil man transforms to become horrible monster. Doug transforms into normal man. Nier, as a lad, based on JRPG cliches, would absolutely wait for a transformation at least once. Kaine would not. Kaine would not. She super would not. But assuming she wasn't there, Nier super would. He totally would. Oh, is that the guy from Restraint Evil? Yeah, we'll get to him. A lot of really fun spelling errors happening today. Yeah, we'll get to him, but let's handle James Sunderland first. He's from I almost said South Park, which, by the way, all the boys in South Park would not, demonstrably. The residents be acting sus. I'm not good at spelling. Listen, me neither. Kenny might, you're right, but only if he was on his own. James Sunderland, however, okay, he also would, because James is not the sharpest tool in the shed. What's the fucking game called? Silent Hill. Maybe Butters. Yeah, maybe Butters. But I feel like Cartman would have gone to Butters first and told him, like, don't let her transform, you know? James would wait because his speed and reflexes are like the speed of molasses. It's just true. James is like, he's in slow motion. The only person who might be slower than James physically would be Henry Townsend from Silent Hill 4. Who would also wait, let me be clear, but yeah, James, he cannot move fast enough to interrupt. I feel like the transition would happen off screen so they could jump scare James. That too. That as well. Just dial up sounds in his head. And also, like, looking at game mechanics, you think with your crappy tank controls and the weird camera angles and the amount of fog, you think you can even find the magical girl and get to her in time to stop her? Nah, man. Nah. No way. You got other things to worry about. Butters, you idiot. Don't let the bitch transform or she'll fuck your shit up, you hear me? And then he would end it with some kind of slur. You know what? As someone who doesn't engage with South Park that much, I feel like that is an accurate representation of how Cartman talks. It's just how it is. I don't make the rules. Now for Resistance Evil, Leon Kennedy. Leon Kennedy, everyone's favorite. Yes. Yes, he would. He would wait for a transformation. Because Leon is just another slowpoke. I gotta be honest. Leon is like, he just can't. If she transformed while moving, like, did a transformation while on the attack, then, you know, he'd jump into action. But Leon stops to observe things so often. He is just an easily fascinated boy. Do you think he'd catch on? Like, in subsequent transformations? And be like, no, hang on, wait. Well, you know what, I think you're right. The first time would be a cutscene, and Leon would just watch. And then the next time you encounter the magical girls, it's gameplay. Kind of like the chainsaw guys. And it's like, fuck, there's a guy with a chainsaw! And so you're in gameplay. I'm saying, Brain, you get me. I do get you. I do get you. So I think you're right. Yeah. If you're playing, then it's shoot, get her! Which, again, everything should have magical girls. I think that would be fucking Superfly. Zombie magical girl. An amazing combination of words. Oh my gosh. Why don't we have that? Why don't we have a zombie magical girl? That should happen. I should look into doing that with Grim Magic. Lots of good ideas for me to steal today. Next up, Hatsune Miku. Yes, and then she would also transform, I think. She'd be delighted to see the transformation, and then with her robot voice, she'd be like, I can do that too. And then she'd transform and be like, what the fuck? And then they'd have like a sing off. They would sing at each other and it'd be super fly. She'd rip her arms off and throw them at her opponents. It'd be so much. Wow, 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 wow. Is the one transforming. You think we should make a is the one transforming tier for Miku? Do we think that? Or do we keep her in yes so they can transform themselves? Which one feels more right? For Miku. Nah, lol. We'll keep her in yeah, so she can transform herself. Miku steals the camera. Yes, so just a Miku tier. I think we'll keep her here. But I like where you guys' heads at. The real surprise is I'm the one transforming. I'm the magical girl. Next up, it's my boy. It's my man. It's Dr. Friedrich Pike from As the Sky Falls, my webcomic that you can read over on Pixiv. No, you think he wouldn't? I think he would because Dr. Pike is he doesn't do anything quickly. Or once. I think, you know, once is a great option actually. Cause the first time he would be flabbergasted. He'd be flabbergasted. He doesn't do anything smooth, like quickly or smoothly. He is a bit of a languid man. But I think in, yeah, subsequent, transformations, he'd be like, Ram, we can't let her do that again. So I think you're onto something. He's a slow, apathetic character. He's old. He's old and tired. So yeah, I think good call, Allison. Yes, but only once. I think that's a great call. Look at you, knowing my character better than me. Him back hurt. Yes, that's the other thing. It does fully hinge on Ram being around to do it for him. He would try. You know, he's willing to give a good try, but I feel like Doc couldn't do much himself. If Ram were there, they could stop her. If it was just Pike, he'd be like, I'll grab her ankles and then I'll get blasted away. And he's grabbing her ankles because she's floating, by the way. Like, he reaches up to grab her. My carpal tunnel. Ow, ouch. Cthulhu, I think now we get to the fascinating ones. Cthulhu, what do you think? I'm leaning towards yes because I think, you know, he's waiting so long anyway. Like, isn't he dormant right now? Isn't that the lore? That Cthulhu is like he's sleeping right now, and so it's like, well, you know, he's a patient guy. Or do you think, yeah, he doesn't care and would just start throwing tornadoes or whatever? Cthulhu would make them transform into a fish. He would undo the transformation. We need to make a new tier, I think. And I'm not gonna embarrass myself to do it. Add a row below. Excellent. And now we edit this one. Makes them untransform. Is that grammatically correct? I don't care. Cthulhu transforms you. Yeah, I'm gonna say he overrides the transformation. We'll overrides transformation is how we'll word it. Either by untransforming the magical girl or re-transforming her into something new. How do you spell overrides? That can't be right. How do you spell this? Let me Google it. Oh, I can put it in chat. Does chat tell you if something is spelled incorrectly? Okay, there are 2 R's. There you go. Y'all get to see me say that. Do you think Monica goes in there as well? Because we know she'd definitely start skipping you. But do you think she'd also... Why would it format itself like this? Overrides transformation. Alright, well, we'll salute Monica down. Awesome. Great, cool. I didn't expect that. Next up, it's kind of a bulky one. Just go into the files and delete your magical girl PNG. She would, what a bitch. Next up is the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. How much have I been on screen, by the way? I've got chat covering me, so I can see what's going on. So I think I've been leaning back too far. I think I've been peeking over the edge of the whole damn stream. Oh well, whatever. You're all not here to see me. All of them? All 4? Yeah, and they go as a unit because they're a team. So, they are magical girls. Are they the magical girls? I don't know if we can say that. Fuck, I don't know. I think so. You've been good. Your little head is usually visible at least. Well, thank goodness. Thank goodness my horns are so tall. I always peek over the edge. Would they argue over what to do? You know what? I think that's a great point. They're a team, but they're not necessarily the most cohesive of fellas sometimes, I think. What are the 4 horsemen again? It's death, famine, plague, and war, right? Yeah, I think they would wait. Either some combination of like, oh, it's the right thing to do, and wanting. It's like they all want some different thing. Like one's like, well, that's just the right thing to do. We have to wait for her to transform, and another one's like, she'll get stronger and she'll be a better fight. And then another one's like arguing like, no, we should attack now. And then the last one doesn't care. You all can headcanon which one would be which of those 4 things. But at the end of the day, it does mean they do not interrupt the magical girl. And it's just how that is. Famine would wait. I think you're right. War's the one that would want her to get stronger, so it could be a better fight. Death is the one that's apathetic. Death is like, who cares? She'll die eventually. Who cares? And I guess that means plague is the one that's like, it's, well, we have to be polite, or whatever it is. Or the one that's like, no, go now, go now. Lose the battle, win the war, exactly. What have you missed? A lot. Here's our tier list so far. It's, would they wait for Magical Girl to finish her transformation? As they're arguing, the Magical Girl finishes, exactly. Biblically, they imprison Satan after Gabriel wounds him. So I guess they wait till the fight's over. Yeah, you know what? Gabriel's gotta come in first and fight the Magical Girl. Weaken her up for them. Plague turns her soul gem into a grief seed. Oof. Omega oof. You're not wrong, they could do that. Santa is next. Oh yeah, we got low enough y'all can't see who's next. Santa is the next big one on our fun little adventure. And yes. I think Santa's a yes. 'Cause he's a nice guy. And you know, I think it depends. Does it depend on if she's on the naughty or nice list? Santa would wait because he is transforming. Does that go into yes so they can transform themselves into Krampus? I'm gonna say that. He waits until you're sleeping. You know what? That's true. He's not even here. Santa he doesn't even see. He's just waiting until she goes to bed. I'm gonna put him into yes, technically, so he can transform, in air quotes, i.e. get into the sleigh, activate magic, let's go, into old world Santa, who was scary. He was a scary motherfucker, he really was. Old world Santa, I don't understand what they were doing. Why that was the path they were choosing to go with. Why was he always like, now children, Santa Claus is gonna come, yay! And make sure you sleep, you know, with your belly button covered up so he doesn't steal your soul out of it. Okay, and don't forget to leave some food out, otherwise he'll be hungry and gobble you up. Ha ha ha, I love Santa. What? Are you, excuse me? If she's nice, he'll wait. If she's naughty, he'll chuck coal at her. Since you're on the nice list, I'll give you your strongest form. Santa's not even fighting her. He's just an ally. He's just there to... He gives her the boost to make her transform. Santa's too wholesome. Unless they're on the naughty list, then he would delete you. And then finally, last one on the list, we got Rum Tum Tugger. From Cats. You know, Rum Tum Tugger from Cats. Why though? Why not? I think he would. Ick movie? No. This is from the play. The play version. That was good, actually. Overrides. He is the star. I think Rum Tum Tugger waits. Because those cats are not proactive. The whole plot, in case you don't know, of the play is that the cats just, like, fuck around. Like, they just are. They hang out, and then at the very end, old Deuteronomy's like, we're gonna send a cat to heaven, and I choose you. And they're all like, yay! They're all like, yippee! And then that's it. There is the idea of a fight. McCavity shows up and he's like, ha ha ha, I'm a bad guy. And they're like, oh no. And then they just like scare him off and he's like, eh. Like it's not even a song. It's a small instrumental breakdown. So it's a slice of life anime. If that's how it's easiest for you to understand, then yeah. I don't know, Cats the musical, I only saw the horrible movie. I liked the musical a lot, actually. It had good music, you know? Love the play. Have it, okay VHS, where that picture came from. Yeah, the VHS, with really nice sound quality. It's CD level quality, so even though it's on VHS, it still sounds really good. So, it's pretty swell. He'd be gushing about Mr. Mistopheles. Honestly, yeah, he's BFFs with Mr. Mistopheles, who is a cat that can do magic. That's not explained. That's fine. He can do magic. And so I think Rum Tum Tugger would be like, hell yeah, girl, do your transformation. A definitive list, I say. Oh, let me make sure Banjo's at the bottom there. Perfect. I think there are no notes to be had. There are no notes to be had. It's just a perfect tier list of who would wait for a magical girl to finish transforming. Wow. I think Godric would make the best magical girl. I think of the ones here, Bochi would make the best magical girl. She would hate it. She wouldn't want that. She doesn't like that answer. But I think her color palette would be really nice. And yeah, that's the definitive list. So there you go. End stream. I'm surprised there's no Undertale or Deltarune characters on here. I'll be honest, I put together this list last night, right before bed. It was me frantically thinking of things that I like. I'm like, I know Excalibur, you're pretty late. And I was like, because I wanted to pick interesting characters too, not just, you know, oh, of course they would. It's why I got Zelda and not Link, you know? So it's why Undertale and Deltarune didn't show up, because I couldn't look to my shelf and see Deltarune on the shelf. Monica turns into a witch the second she becomes magical. That is true. A magical girl, she absolutely would. Monica is oh, she'd become a witch so hard. Is that your OC husbando? Who? Which one? You'll have to be slightly specific. Do you mean Dr. Pike? From As the Sky Falls? I wouldn't describe him as my husbando. But yeah, he's from my webcomic. He's not the one I draw the most, so I guess not a husbando. But I love Pike. I think he's really, really cool and swell, and I'm excited to explore his character more with As the Sky Falls. Doug is also here, in case you didn't notice Doug. So yeah, there we go. That's the list. I hope you had fun. I did. I always like making tier lists. I like getting to because we all chit chat a lot when we do the tier lists. So yeah, hooray, yippee, indeed. So that's gonna be it. That's gonna be it today. It was a grand old time. It really was. Thank you, Allison, for coming up with this good idea so I could steal it. So that's gonna be it. Eat your vegetables, drink your water. It's time for dinner for me. And I'll see you on the flip side. Adios.